Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with some Destiny 2 news here. Just to let you folks know, this was recorded one day late because normally we would have the TWAB, or TWAB, usually on the Thursdays, but this week here we have a very special community summit event, which will be explained later on in the weekly update. So Bungie's latest weekly update just went live back for Wednesday on April the 18th instead of the Thursday. Like I said, I'll explain that momentarily. So, we had our second last Iron Banner of Season 2 underway, and for the first time in Destiny 2, it's in 6v6 formation. We're going to be talking about the exotic weapon previews, plus some important info on the new power progression and the reward changes coming in Season 3, plus some special guests in the building to give us some feedback. So, it's going to be a little bit of a long one, folks, so without further ado, might as well just get yourself a nice cup of coffee if you plan on staying inside, stay warm in all the cold weather. But I will guarantee you this, folks, all that snow will go away, I really hope, and we're heading into double digits in temperatures next week. We really need spring weather to come, seriously. But anyway, enough talking about that, let's just get right to it. So we're going to be talking a little bit about Crucible, and we have PvP design lead Derek Carroll trying to get some information on the state of combat between Guardians. Of course, these are the first two paragraphs here, but we're going to talk about the last one here. This is going to be a little bit important. As you may have read last week, we're changing the way Crucible playlists work when Season 3 launches alongside the new expansion, which is going to be called Warmind. Now, beginning on May 8th, that's less than 3 weeks away, all Destiny 2 players will be able to compete on any of the Crucible maps we put out in the match-made playlists. Now, in parentheses here, platform-timed exclusive content will still be limited to that platform, that's PS4, but everything else will be fair game. We believe this is a big win for everyone, since players will no longer need to choose between playing in a limited DLC playlist to see, in quotation marks, the new stuff, and playing in the mainstream playlist to get the largest pool of opponents and maps. So that feels like a lot of fun right here. So here's a little bit of information for the Crucible. Now, as far as weapon showcases are concerned, we had the first two exotic weapon changes here, which was a few weeks ago. There was a preview of both Sturm and Drain. And right now, back in February, by the way, they were giving us some information about the Graviton Lance. This is the first of three exotic weapon previews, which are more likely going to give us a nice little buff. So we're going to start with the Graviton Lance first. Actually, hold on a second here. Just trying to get that set up. Unmute. I'm going to put it to, there we go. Alright, so here's the first of three weapons, which is going to be the Graviton Lance. Now, this is the preview in development. Here it is. Well, there goes the Fallen, just like that. Now, there's going to be two more videos on the way. We're going to be talking about the Skyburner's Oath and the Rat King. And we have senior designer John Wazowski will tell us more about those weapons and what you haven't seen yet. So, here's what he had to say here. A while back I talked about Graviton Lance and how one of the main areas to improve was the lack of utility within a pretty successful show of spectacle. Skyburner's Oath almost had the opposite problem. It's a strong weapon which is effective at multiple ranges, which is strong ADS and from hip with some verifying fire rates, but it lacks spectacle to give that exotic feeling. It just plays like any other gun. So I didn't like Skyburner's Oath at first, but hopefully it gives a nice little buff when it comes out for Season 3 on May 8th. Excuse me. Now, to address this here, we're starting giving the projectiles, I don't think I pronounced that right, explosive rounds as their default impact responses. And in the ADS, the weapon will perform the same with full auto, slow firing, and high impact. And of course, with the weapon here, when firing from the hip, it fires at a faster rate, which will track targets, and it will explode. Now, the tracking functionality tends to draw projectiles to center mass rather than to precision rings. So apparently the precision hits will still do some bonus damage and overall DPS will be increased. So we're going to have a preview of the Skyburner's Oath, which is our second of 3 weapons we're going to take a look at right now. Let me just set it back over here. There we go. So here it is. Whoops. Here it is in action in 1.2 preview. Boy, that definitely looks like a beast right there. And now, Rat King. This is our third and final exotic weapon that we're going to be reviewing here. Okay. So we have our third and final weapon we're going to be previewing right here, which is Rat King. So we're going to see this one in action as well. Let's get back to the start again. There we go. Alright, let's check it out. What did I just see right there? Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Can't wait for season 3 to start, and then we'll just go with 6 Rat Kings in the raid layer. Good job to the raid team for that. Next up here, we're going to be talking about the power climb. Now, this one here may complicate you guys right here, but according to senior designer Daniel Ockenpaw, he's going to give us some details right here. Now, when he was here last time, he was talking about the adjustments to the raid rewards. And now we're going to be making some changes to the reward structure of Destiny 2. And one of the things that they did when it launched was make the climb to the power cap fast and easy for everyone. But the result was pretty much less satisfying. And of course, there are any activities that dared require it. So, with expansion 2, Warmind, which is coming out May 8th, of course, they're going to be making some changes to the size and frequency of upgrades. Now, the goals with this change are to bring back meaning and accomplishment to achieving the power cap, which would give players a sense of progression when they come back to play each week, and reward players who engage in a broader scope of the endgame content. Now, they made an effort to de-emphasize grinding public events for exotics and to reduce the impact of clan engrams on the endgame progression. So here's where the power cap comes into play. There's going to be 2 power level caps to talk about right here. First one is soft cap. It is the point that you can climb to easily via drops from any source, while the hard cap is the power level you can obtain from weekly reward sources. So that's, I think that's heroic strikes, which, by the way, they're going to be getting some modifiers for that. I'm pretty sure Nightfall will be one of them as well, especially raid and trials as well. Now, the soft level cap for Warmind will be 340, and the hard cap will be 380. So 380 will most likely be the max level cap for Warmind. Now, of course, for those numbers, they don't consider any +5 mods. Now, all drops will be calculated based on the best possible power, or BPP for short. Regardless of whether you have the gear equipped or not, it can be in the vault or eventually on another character. Now, the target is that the players who participate in all the weekly activities will eventually take several weeks to reach the hard cap. So, of course, raids and Trials of the Nine will grant the largest increases, and clan engrams will provide very small increases, while the other weekly resources will fall in between those two. Now, of course, for the players who don't participate in the weekly activities, will most likely not be able to hit the hard cap before the next release. So my advice to you guys right here, do the weekly activities every single week. You'll be able to hit that power cap for sure. Now, the dedicated players will eventually hit it before Raid or Trials comes out exclusively. Now, the final 10 points, additionally, will be from 370 to 380, will be significantly slower than 340 to 370. And we eventually have players take roughly equal time to go from 340 to 370 as from, well, you get the information here. They decided to make this change because climbing to 370 will allow you to tackle the in-game content without suffering a severe underlevel penalty. But that would be a nice accomplishment to hit 380. Clan engrams will offer excellent upgrades while a player is climbing to the soft cap. Now, they should grant awards which would be an average of 15 power higher than your current best possible power cap while you're on the way there. Actually, let's go down a little bit here. Okay, I'll let you guys read those two right here because it just feels like this is going to take a long time. The power cap, in my opinion, both soft and hard, it feels a little bit complicated at first. But I think once you start reading and once you start grinding, I think it will be a little bit less complicated. Okay, so you guys have read it. Okay, now we'll go to the next one right here. By the way, if you missed the previous video for the power level cap, you can definitely check it out for sure. Now, as mentioned, there's a Destiny Community Summit event that's happening both today and tomorrow, and there's the information on here for sure. Of course, you can pause the video just to check out the paragraph right here. I'm going to go motor through this a little bit right here. As mentioned, 6v6 Iron Banner is underway. It wraps up on Tuesday, April the 24th. Here are some changes to the 6v6 Iron Banner. Of course, the time limit right now will be 12 minutes. Score limit is 125 points. Respawn time is 7 seconds. All the control zones start off neutral. Additional Guardians, which will be a max of 3, will be in a zone that will increase the capture speed. Emperor's Respite has been removed of the Iron Banner control playlist. Of course, they're talking about power ammo as well. Recurring side crate respawn times reduced from 90 seconds to 45 seconds, and the initial side crate respawn times have now been reduced to 90 seconds, from 90 seconds all the way down to 30 seconds. All right, so there you go. And of course, there's the rest of the information there. You can pause it as well. And before we wrap it all up, we'll skip the movies of the week here and the Nightfall Rewards. Cosmo closed it out with this right here. I understand he's playing a 6v6 and finishing up some ornaments. But this paragraph right here, we finally get to find out when the stream will be. You've just read over 2,400 words of knowledge. We have more lined up for you next week during the stream. You can join us, twitch.tv/Bungie. That's coming your way this Tuesday, April 24th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, to see not only Season 3, but Warmind as well. So there you have it, folks. The reveal stream takes place 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, April 24th. I'm so looking forward to watching it right here. Obviously, they'll be talking about those two for sure. Hopefully, a Ray Lair campaign story, etc., and hopefully see the reveal trailer and possibly a story trailer for Warmind as well. We are going to get a launch trailer for sure. I think that's going to be a day before the launch. So there you go. Should be a whole lot of fun on Tuesday. Can't wait to watch it. And I'll keep you posted for all things Destiny and everything else. You get the whole 9 yards for sure. On that note, that is it. I know it took about 15 minutes to explain this conversation, but anyway, we are done, folks. Thank you again for watching us. This has been the TWAB for April the 18th. I know this is uploaded on the 19th or 20th, but anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Take care.